Hey, how's it going? My name is Pat Hamer, and I'm a business guy. I'm a contractor, as well as I just bought a Sears store, or I'm buying one, and it should close in 3 or 4 days. But anyways, I do network marketing. I don't like network marketing per se, but because it has a bad economic model to it. It's basically recruiting people who typically don't understand business, and then they just want to teach people this great idea that when it first came out, I remember hearing the story about how we're supposed to save all kinds of money for people by you know lowering the price of goods and services because we don't have to pay the overhead for real estate on every street corner, advertising, and so that never happened. uh, it started out that way, but they never paid the commissions to the distributors. The companies end up getting rich, and the way they do that is there's a very high recidivism rate in network marketing, and so what they do is they get one person in, and everybody can get about 2 or 3 people in. That's the general rule, and so you get your 2 or 3 people in, and then 6 months goes by, and you realize that you've just spent, $2,000 or $3,000 on auto ship, and you got a garage full of stuff in there, and you got 2 or 3 people in, and the statistics said that's all you were going to do anyway, and you go, oh, I'm not going to do this, but you got the other 2 people in who got their 2 or 3 people in. You see what's happening here? So then. They do the same, pretty much the same thing you do. On rare occasions, you get a guy like me who's not a quitter, and who can actually, do the math himself without, I don't like wait 7 months and then go, oh man, this didn't work, which most people I find do. I actually, went to college and got, just learned how to do a little simple math, and so when I look at a business opportunity, I look at the financials, okay? And other people, your friend comes up to you and pressures you, and you like the guy, and it's like, well, that sounds fun, and they tell you can make all this money, and anyways, so that's what I'm totally opposed to, and I'm going to show you something here. So, anyways, I've got this here little program here. It's Photoshop. It's one of my things I do, but anyways, if you keep on doing what you've always done, you're going to keep on getting what you always got. So the people I'm talking to here, are probably people, my target audience basically is, people that are struggling. At one point in my life, I was struggling, as a contractor. I mean, I had a contractor's license, but it was based upon the economy. And I'm telling you, there's a economic downturns all the time, crises, economic crises. I mean, and what I didn't know about economic crises is that when they do occur, when an economic crisis does occur, um, there's an interesting phenomenon that does happen, and that would be that there's a commodity that goes up 5 to 10 times. So if you know that ahead, you're guaranteed to get five times to 10 times more than what. And what I'm doing here is I got to grab this other keyboard. I got all these keyboards here. I've got 3 monitors and a 100-year. There it is. Okay, 100-year gold chart. And so. There we go. That should do it. All right, 100-year. Let's see, where are we at? Images. Let's go there. That's a good image right there. Okay, so basically, if I was to show you this here image, um, I can just kind of zip it in there right there. This here's a 100-year price of gold, and what happens is every time, when you can see the price is down here, and for an ounce of gold, and so from here to from the Depression, the Great Depression, it doubled. You know, it tripled. It went up 3 times, and then over here it actually like went up almost 5 times. Here it went up 10 times. You know, 3 or 4 or 5 times here, and each one of these spikes it went up. You know, gold. You know, so basically all you have to do is buy gold. You can never lose anything with it. If inflation goes up or down, it doesn't matter because you can still buy the same thing with an ounce of gold that you could 100 years ago. So all that pricing, that's money, that's cash, that's called fiat currency. That's what the Bible calls it, unrighteous mammon. You know, but gold is true wealth, and so that's my point here. Is I want to get to this. Other situation I'm talking about, which is this here little charts I've done here. So like I said, you know, if you're struggling, you know, financially and you want to make some extra money, like my friend Bogey, where did I see Bogey at? I saw him earlier here. Probably right here, I would say. Where would that be? Yeah, there he is, right there. You know, he was saying he's making an extra $500 a month since he met me doing this stuff, and so that's pretty cool, you know. And he says I only had to spend $250 to do it, and he's probably got about a ton of. He's got lots of precious metals that he's been collecting, which is, like I say, as soon as the next economic crisis, which we never knew about, all I did was struggle for them all my life. I'm almost 60 years old, and so you know, you want to, you know, if you want to stop, you know, struggling, you have to change, and you have to change your thinking, like I've done, and you have to get a little educated. You don't have to get a lot educated. You don't have to go to college. You just have to listen up about economics, and that's all you really need to know. And that's what I'm here to do. So, you know, really, what you got to do is you got to make some changes, you know, and that's what we're going to do. And so basically, you know, this is you. And then there's your wealth there. And you know, the distance between 2 points, right? The distance between 2 points is a straight line. So, you know, we got our 2 points here. And then the distance between them is that straight line. And so, you know, and how do you get there? Well, you know, people get from there as straight as possible. The straightest you can get to wealth, the wealthier you're going to be, because you've undercut your profit. And that's per hours of man hours versus what your choice is. So if you make the wrong choice, you're going to really, you're going to see. And so this is economics. And I didn't, you know, in economics we did a bunch of charts, or you know, supply and demand charts, and opportunity costing, and all kinds of different charts that would tell you all this different stuff. And so I was trying to figure out something more simpler, and it's kind of, you know, it's kind of almost, you know, but it does work out. You know, it's, and so, you know, so basically the only way to get from here to here with wealth is, you know, you can kind of demonstrate it. If you already have it, you're already there. So that's, you know, if you don't have it, you got to run through some hoops to get it. Or maybe you don't have to run through some hoops, and you just have to wait out some time. So the length of that wealth to you from you is going to be based upon the changes that you make. And so one of the changes you can make, you know, is what you're doing. So I'm a recruiter. You know, there's two kind of people in the business world, and then when you kind of mix network marketing in it, it's its own animal. So you can't compare it to economics, because there's no economic principles that support that this should be a good thing the way it's being done today. And so I'm a headhunter, but I'm also, you know, I'm a recruiter, but I'm a headhunter economist. Not just a recruiter. I'm not just going to do that thing that I told you about where you get your 3 and then, you know, and then the guys at the top, they're the ones that make all the money. And they'll stay there and they'll continue making all the money, and you'll wonder how the heck they ever got there. Well, they got in first. And so you have to try to figure out what compensation plans, avoid that kind of thing. And you can get lucky, and make a lot of money at it, but you're suckering people into a program that's doomed to fail, 90% failure. They're only going to get 2 or 3 people and they're going to quit. That's what the statistics say. So we all know that up front. And if you run with that, you're kind of a con artist. And I'm just saying it like it is. And so, if I was to show you some situations here, I've got this here set up here where, it's an economic term. It's opportunity costing is what we're talking about. So how do I kind of show that? Okay, so right here, you see this here graph here compared to, where would that be? I guess that would be this one here. We'll get rid of that one. So if you look at this one here, and if we were to straighten it out, it would put this dot way off the chart over here somewhere, so way farther away from you. But why is it like that? Okay, so let's put our little straight line back in here, our reference to where we want to be. So if you go into business, you have these, let's say, this is wealth, because you have it. This is wealth on this straight line. So whenever you want to get there, sometimes maybe you have to get a loan. So that takes you off the path to getting quick wealth. You're getting off the path. Okay, let's say that you have to spend money out of your pocket every month to buy a product. That also gets you off the path to wealth. And now you've got to convince those 90% of other people who are going to also quit to do what you're doing. So, why do you do that? That's what network marketing is people conning people, and because they think that the guy at the top who's making all the money, he's going through you're recruiting your 2 or 3 for him, and then he's getting their 2 or 3, and so he's going to do okay. And 90% are going to fail. And so you need to stop being a recruiter headhunter, and you need to be a headhunter economist and understand what I'm talking about here. And then your chances of success are going to be quicker, and you don't have to rely on metaphysics and positive, negative crap and all that. You just be positive. Who cares? Or you can be negative even doing this. I mean, this doesn't require magic. This is mathematical deductive reasoning here. And so, you don't want to get your wealth that way. So basically, what you're looking at is the economic term opportunity cost. And so this is what your opportunity is costing you to get to that. And if you straighten out these lines and add them together, that red dot gets pushed way over here. And so right there, you can see just by common sense and a graph that, if you do anything that you're doing a monthly auto ship on that is worthless, it might be good health, but it's like groceries. You're flushing it down the toilet. People want to conserve on their groceries. They want to conserve on their light bill. They want to conserve on this stuff, and all that money adds up. And so in business, it's the same thing. You can waste your time. You can go to work doing something you like to do, and it might be more of a hobby. Or you can do something that other people like to do, which is a business, all right? So then what we want to try to do is eliminate any kind of things that gets us off the way. And that means every time you spend money, you're getting off the wealth path. Now, how do you do that? Well, you got to find products, and I found several products that do it for me, and one of them is meanjavabean.com. Okay, so I'll just type that in here. www. Better get this thing back over here. Here we go. meanjavabean.com. Meanjavabean.com, and I'm not going to really get much into it right now, but it's an opportunity business thing that I lost a bunch of weight in, and I lost I believe it was 60 pounds. Yeah, I lost 60 pounds. I went from 254 down to 194. I'm up to about 205 now, but this is 2 or 3 years ago, and so I'm actually gonna get back down a little bit again. It's winter time and I got to start doing something, but it's just a kind of an interesting thing. Like you can see me right here. There we go, right there. And so that's basically what we're doing there is giving away free weight loss for coffee drinkers because the stuff that I lost the weight with is a coffee. So you just drink coffee. So when you have free weight loss, when you're already making an expense for coffee, you buy this coffee, and by golly, by gum, you're back on the straight line again because those expenses that are essential expenses you're already making, and so that's one thing. Another opportunity I have that I do is let's just check that out here is I guess you could go to www.arc Arc of Gold, why not .com. Yeah, let's go with bankandgold.com. Let's do that one. All right, so you can that's another opportunity. And why does that keep you on the straight line here? Well, for one thing, that's we're dealing in bullion, and we're also dealing, so why would we do that? Why would we want to deal in bullion? Because nobody has to sell this product. Customers are going to get wealthy. They're on when they're not spending money when they buy bullion. They're trading dollars, so they don't have this here. So they're going to get propelled quicker to wealth. The people here that are spending money on something, when they're buying auto ship, they're going into debt. When you trade dollars, that's an asset listed in the credit side of your spreadsheet, debits and credits. Okay, so you can take that money. You could put it in they have a 401ks and stuff you can do with. You have to talk to your tax advisor and all that good stuff. I'm just a businessman. I'm just telling you what I do. And so bankandgold.com, it's a great company. I actually won their contest, $10,000 worth of gold and silver, and that was they're a year old now, and I've been in it for just about exactly a year now, and by golly, my wife and I are buying a Sears store, and this company's helped us get there by taking that money that we're going to spend, because we have wealth now, right? Even when I buy my auto ship every month, I don't buy it. I've got income coming in from this because it only takes two people to earn in this company. Every time person 1 makes 5 sales and person 2 makes 5 sales, I get $500, and not just that person, but that person's team cumulatively. So these people that might one of those 1 or 2 people that put somebody in, that guy might just, every time that team makes 5 sales anywhere on that underneath that organization, you got 2 teams. Team A makes 5 sales. Team B makes 5 sales. That's simultaneously you get paid $500, and so your job is to advertise. They're not paying, so like if you don't advertise, you're not going to get paid. So basically all you do is advertise, hey, lowest price gold and silver. We undercut the gold and silver industry. And anyways, we're owned by a billionaire. The company is not Bank and Gold, but his company. I just kind of redirect to that website. But those things there, when you spend money, and I spend money basically every month to qualify on gold and silver. I buy a little gold and silver, but I don't buy it. I trade dollars for the gold, and I already showed you that eventually this thing's going to really be really cool because we've got this here. Where are we going here? Here we go. Bam. Yeah, our gold price chart. So you can see here. Here's a 1929's crash. It went up, from 200 to 600, and so that's 3 times. If you had 300,000 in gold, you became a millionaire almost right there. And so then when it goes back down, you just dollar cost average it. You don't care what the price is. You just every month you buy some more gold, And then you get to this economic depression. You know, this was some 30 years later. Just 30 years later, bam! I'm 30. You know, you're born. You put that in your kid's thing. His account. He's down here at $200. Now he's up here at $700. So he's almost quadrupled his money. So let's say you over 30 years, you know, if you buy one coin, 1986 coin, a month starting, you know, back 30 years ago, the Eagles, like if I go to 7K Metals here, let's see where it is. Yeah, there we go. And we look at the shopping cart. Yeah, you know, we look at these Silver Eagles right here. Yeah, right here. And these Silver Eagles, they started minting them in 1986, and people bought one a month. You know, probably for the 1986, I don't know, $10 a coin, maybe, who knows. MS-70 coins, by the way, Mint State 70 coins, highest quality coins. And people started buying them in '86, and they would have spent a total of about 15 grand over 30 years. And if you go to the PCGS website or the NGC grading companies that put the value, how much these coins are worth, they're worth over $1 million. All right. And so for a $15,000 investment over 30 years, that one coin, I'm not talking about, you know, people collect more than that one coin. You can collect, you know, you can buy bars of silver and gold and, you know, bars of gold here. You know, we sell gold by the gram. You know, here's the gold here. You know, 1 gram of gold, $49. You know, there's a company out there called Karatbar selling the same LBMA gold for almost $70. You know, and wow, silver's at 17, gold's at 12.96. Okay, and you know, anyways, so if you know, this is the deal. So I'm gonna sign off on this thing here. I just wanted you to kind of understand that you know, this is how you can look at this here. You know, getting to wealth. You know that when you spend money, you're gonna get there longer. And I've got business opportunities that don't cost you money, so you're gonna get to the wealth quicker because you're saving more of your wealth. And if you think you can build enough momentum to make it irrelevant, go for it. But 100% of the people that are in my businesses, 100% of them, just by being in the business themselves and purchasing gold and silver, I have shown that in 100 years, they will not lose. Not one of them will lose. And I think that's really impressive. I mean, and you know, it's kind of, I just need to add this, you know, I pick on network marketers because they just don't get it. And the people that do get it, you know, they've refused to do network marketing in the past, and they're my age, and they're doing this because they get it, because this is wealth. And I just want to tell you, you know, one of the things you have to change also is you have to elevate your self-esteem, and that don't happen naturally. You can fake it till you make it, but if you start buying bullion, you're going to be around a whole different crowd of people that know that an ounce of gold is way better than an ounce of a vitamin pill. And that person that sells the vitamin pills will say, "Pat, without health, what good is wealth?" And I go, well, I can take a little chunk of that gold off there and I can buy your vitamin. Who says I'm not doing health? You know, because I'm not joining their guru, you know, cultish, you know, network marketing company. You know, anyways, I want to get to, you know, my tone is a little, you know, when you're right, you're right. What can I say? By golly, look at that. Hey, there we go. Anyways, I just want to thank you for spending some time with me, and I think we're done recording. Yes, we are.